Okay, and welcome to your first tutorial with Adobe Illustrator Creative Cloud. And when you first open up your Illustrator file, you may find you get a window quite similar to this when you first open it. So what you want to do is you can just go into Create and just, if you're creating a print document, you would obviously open this one, but as it's for the web for this one, we're just going to click Web Document. Okay, at the top we'll just pop in Illustrator for the name for this one. For number of artboards, this might be if you've got a big project and you need separate colour palettes or separate files to work with. But for now, so we're just going to create the one artboard. As for the size, we're just going to put 400 pixels for the height and width, and just open that up. When you come into your Illustrator, you'll see that you've got different toolbars around the side and the top. Some of these you may recognize from Photoshop, but for others they are quite unique to Illustrator. Some important ones is you've got your tools down the side, so you've got your brush tool, your line tool, this will be your shape tool for all your different shapes that you create. You've got your text tool as well, all the effects that you want to do with that one. Down the right hand side you've got some important ones, like if you've got your different artboards you can choose which one, or your layers. Similar to Photoshop, you'll want to put layers into your work, so this is near the bottom. You have different graphic styles and appearance that you might want to change when you're editing. You've got transparency. On this one you have your transparency, your gradient and your stroke, so you'll be using these ones quite often if you're creating shiny shapes and icons for websites and things. You've also got brushes, so you might want different brushes to use, which could be found in the bottom here. This will give you a tremendous amount of different choices to choose from. And you've also got your colours, but you may see on the on the left hand side, sorry, that you've also got these two boxes here. This top one, if you double click on it and just choose to say a nice blue like this one, and we go to the shape tool, you will see that we have two colours. We have a blue fill, and then also on the outline you have a black stroke. If you double click on here, we can change this to like a nice pale grey. You've just got to make sure that your shape is selected when you do this, like so. And there you will see you've got a little outside bit there. And you can change your colours this way or whichever way you find easier. But with the shape selected, you'll notice at the top here you've also got some other functions. So we can change the thickness of the outline. If you wanted to create it quite bold, here you could change that. If you wanted to add a gradient to your shape, you'd select it first, and then you would just go to the right hand side. If you double click the blue that you've just chosen and just drag it down to the bottom here, you'll see that it creates a gradient for you. Now I'm not too keen on the darker side of here, so what we can do is just drag down another blue. You may find it will go black and white. If it's a black or a white at the end there, you can just change this to swatches, and we can just choose like a nice grey, or maybe a possibly lighter one to go there, and then just click back there and you'll see that your shape has changed colour. You can also change the angle that you want your gradient, so if we wanted the darker blue at the top and then the grey at the bottom, you'd put it to -60, but it also depends on where you have it on here. You can also choose it to be radial if you wanted to have colours on the inside going to outwards. But anyway, that's a gradient for that one. What we're also going to have a look at is the line tool. If we click here, you'll notice that you've got some different options. You've got an arc you can create, or a swirl, or a grid, but we're just going to use the normal tool for now. So on your shape, we just click to the corner like so. You'll see that it has actually used the stroke colour, and it's actually deleted my fill colour. This is because it hasn't got enough space to fill it with, as it's just a single line. But we've also got some funky things you can do with the line tool as well. If you go to the top here, you've got brush definition, and in the brush libraries you've got some funky arrows you can use. Let's have a little look. We've got variety, quite like this one. If you click on here, it will actually change your line into a different symbol, into an arrow or whatever you choose. There's so many different things that you can work with. You can have just normal brushes, you can have textures, pretty much anything that you want to create in a line tool you can do. But we'll just cancel that for now, as we have our funky looking arrow in our box there. Now the last thing we might want to do is just add a little bit of text to this. So if we click our text tool and we'll just drag it at the bottom here, you can copy what I write, or you can write your own thing. And if you highlight it, you'll just see at the top here you've got some different options, so you can change the font if you wanted something quite different. You know, you can just write it there. You can choose, well, on some fonts you've got you can have it bold or italic, but on this one it just lets you have regular. But you can also change the size as well. Now with your direct selection tool at the top there, you can actually move your graphics to where you need them. With the direct selection tool, this will allow you to choose individual points. If I just show you on this square, if you click on one corner, you can actually change how you'd like it to sit. If you want it to have a weird effect like so, you can do that, or if you wanted it stretched out to the corner, you can pretty much move it where you like. But the great thing about Illustrator and Creative Cloud is that it actually tells you where things line up, which is also a feature in Photoshop actually. But yeah, and again with the side here, we can always change our text colour. We'll just go with a nice white. It's not the most amazing design, but that's a good use of all the tools that we just looked at today. So this is Illustrator, and thank you for watching.